Culture.
I'm here with the family.
Bryce, XXV, Double I,
Rome.
D-Melo,
Gruff Lion.
T-Buggy, man.
Just the greatest sports show on the planet. La Familia. Hope y'all ready for a ride.
Can't wait to hear what you guys got to say.
Yes, sir. You know what time it is. It's your favorite sports show. Gas presents Sports for the Culture. I'm tonight's host, your boy Young Rome 22 on all socials as always, man. Big week this week, Super Bowl week. A lot of things popping off with the NBA trade deadline, rumors, all kind of things popping in the sports world. We're gonna get into all of it tonight. But before we do, I'm gonna let the crew introduce themselves, and I'm gonna start with top left.
What up, man? Scruff Skywalker on all socials. Y'all know me. Y'all know me by many names. But y'all should know me as a co-founder of Good Ass Sports, man. That's who we really are. So just we gotta throw the Good Ass Sports out there one time. You know, gotta stay true to the roots.
Yes, sir. Keeping it pushing, bottom right.
At Bryce, XXV, Double I, a.k.a. Mr. Big Leaguer. Hey, man, Super Bowl week, big week. I feel like the NBA trade deadline, low-key, trying to get their shit off in lieu of Super Bowl week. I feel like this kind of happened last year, too, so I'm excited to talk about both of these things with y'all fellas tonight. Let's get it.
Yeah, I kind of like how it lands in between that lull period between the Super Bowl and the bye week or whatever. So I like that. It gives us a little bit of interesting news, especially since the Pro Bowl is dead. That's another story, though. Last but never least, bottom left.
T-Boogie, man. Wash your hands, wash your ass. Hey, let's go, man. I don't got too much to say, man. It's Super Bowl season. Let's get it.
Yeah, man. Now let's start right there with the Super Bowl, and I'm gonna keep it right there with you, T Boogie, because we got an NFC West team represented in the Super Bowl. Your team's rival, the Seahawks. So let's talk about a little bit about Seattle. There's been a lot of hate on Sam Darnold this season from the three people I'm on this show with right now. Right, a lot of y'all have doubted this man all the way up until this point. So I'm gonna start with T, and I'm gonna start with Sam Darnold. What is your overall takeaway from Sam Darnold this season? Has he finally impressed you? Are you putting him in the upper echelon of QBs, or did the Seattle team carry him to the Super Bowl?
Hold on now. Let's set the record straight. T-Boogie has been a Sam Darnold fan since day.
You're right. Let me correct that. T is me and T have been the few people out there that have supported Sam Darnold.
Please don't lump me in with the Timu scouts. All right, listen. I know a little something about quarterback play. You know what I'm saying? I might not can scout you a punter, but I can scout you a quarterback. But he's finally put it together, right? Sam Darnold's always had the tools: big arm, stand tall in the pocket. He's not even sneaky athletic, but he can just make plays from the pocket. The thing I'm impressed about with Sam Darnold is the fact that his career has been tumultuous. Like you said, people have put him down. People kind of counted him out. And similar to Geno Smith's ascent in Seattle, right? They wrote him off and, he didn't read it or whatever the silly statement was. It's silly now that he's in Oakland. But, Darnold he's here. He's here to stay. I don't know if you want to call him elite just yet. Most people probably say they haven't seen enough, but I don't know how much more you need to see from a guy that won a bunch of games in Minnesota, won a bunch of games last season, and now he's in the Super Bowl. It's almost like because he played bad, that scar, that stain on his name can never be cleaned or removed. And I think that's unfair from a human perspective and from an athlete perspective, right? Same thing with, other quarterbacks. We got to be fair to these guys, right? The guy you are yesterday is not the guy you are today. And I think that's what Donald is, man. And
Yeah, man, that's an excellent point, because leading into free agency and all that, I think Sam Darnold winning 14 games last year, winning 14 games this year on two different teams, and getting the Seahawks to the Super Bowl. I think that's going to influence a lot of GMs and coaches on taking chances on guys like Geno Smith, Sam Darnold, who, like to T's point, had dirt on their name and maybe trying to get a second act, maybe trying to rekindle what they once had. So I think what Sam Darnold's done the last 2 years and making it to the Super Bowl this year, honestly, is about to be a game changer. And we're going to see a lot of quarterbacks on their second act. Bryson Scruff, man, jump ball on this one. Both of you guys have been a little harsh on Sam Darnold. especially ever since the Jets days, seeing Ghost. So I asked you two, has he finally turned the corner, and are you putting him in the upper echelon of QBs, or do you feel like the Seahawks kind of carried him there?
Well, I can't really answer that question today because what really matters is what happens on Sunday. And the truth of the matter is he has played well the past 2 seasons. He played excellent last season during the regular season, but they played like shit during the playoffs, bro. This season he played excellent for most of the season. Led the Seahawks to a great season. He played well during the playoffs too. So that's the difference this year. He's playing well during the playoffs. Now, if he goes out there in the Super Bowl, they're going to be talking about him seeing ghosts. And I'm just being honest. That's just the way it is, man. But one thing about Sam Darnold, I want to throw a philosophical thought out there when it comes to Sam Darnold. There's a term out there, scar tissue. You know what I mean? Metaphorically speaking, emotional scar tissue represents the aftermath of adversity. Allowing individuals to grow and develop resilience. However, if this remains unresolved, this tissue can manifest itself as persistent anxiety. And that's kind of what we see it in before. You know what I mean? He was trying to get over it, and he couldn't quite get over it last year. Now, this is it. This is the final moment for him to get over it. Because once you get over this, there's nothing else to get over. You won at the highest level. So it's a big moment for him, I would say. If he goes out there and plays well, then he's proved everybody wrong. I think he's already done most enough to prove everybody wrong. But the way our culture is built, if you lose in the Super Bowl, they act like you fucking had an 0-16 season. So, that's just kind of how it goes. So he will be defined by his performance on Sunday.
Yeah, that's a good point, Scruff. To your point, Cam Newton was forever defined by not jumping on the fumble in the Super Bowl, despite having one of the best seasons potentially ever that year. But you're right. The Super Bowl will define Sam Darnold in the long run. But Bryce, man, what have you thought about Sam Darnold the last 2 years? Has he done enough to change the narrative?
It's a good question. I mean, first off, let's not act like we weren't rightful in our judgment of Sam Darnold. All right? I know revisionist history is a beautiful thing, right? It's all great when when a man turns around his future, but at the same time, we weren't judging him his past based off nothing. All right, the man left probably close to $65 million on the table. Okay, he didn't lose that on that $60 million because he didn't have the potential. He lost it on that money because when it came down to the final 4 games of last season, he shit the bed. He became the guy that sees ghosts. That was just last season. Now, one thing Sam Darnold has proven is that if you give him a really good defense and you give him a top 3 wide receiver, the man will produce. I'd say that's probably about 50% of quarterbacks in the league. If you give him a top 3 defense and the top 3 receiver, they're going to put up numbers. All right. So I like what he's done, but I'm with Scruff. This game means a lot for wiping that stain off of his name. And I think he can do it. I think he can do it. Yet to be seen, though. Now, if you ask me what do I think about him skill-wise, I agree with T. I think Sam Darnold has all the tools. I think he's always had the tools. I had him as one of the highest, if not the highest ranked quarterback coming out of college. Had him over Lamar Jackson. But it just hasn't manifested, right? So if he's able to win this Super Bowl, I think you then have to put him up in that top 10 quarterback talk, right? But it's not just going to be about winning it, in my opinion. It's going to be about how he does it too. So he's got to have a good game, and if that's the case, then we're looking at a guy that we're all going to consider. We're probably all consider an elite quarterback. Right now, I still got him on the outside looking in of that conversation, though.
Well, let me ask y'all this. Let me phrase the question like this, then. Do the Seahawks make the Super Bowl without Sam Darnold this year?
I mean, okay, that's a good question. Probably not, right? But do the Vikings make the Super Bowl last year with a different quarterback? Possibly, right? I mean, do the Vikings go further without Sam Darnold in those last 4 games? Yes, it's an unequivocal yes, bro. So on one hand, I agree, Rome. I think that we're looking at someone that has progressed to another level, right? What that level is still yet to be seen, in my opinion.
I don't know if I would say unequivocal. The Vikings fell off the map this year with JJ McCarthy, which was supposed to be their guy.
Well, JJ McCarthy might arguably be the worst starting quarterback in the NFL.
Well, JJ McCarthy was injured for large portion of the season, right? I mean, he couldn't be relied upon. So, like, I'm not saying that if it was JJ McCarthy over Sam Darnold for the last 4 games, they win. But if it's another one of those top half of the league quarterbacks in those final 4 games, the way that defense was playing, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, I mean, you got a decent shot. Like, the Vikings lost last year down the stretch because of bad play by Sam Darnold, and that's why he lost out on $60 million. And that's why the GM, Kwesi, I don't want to butcher his last name, but that's why he decided to move on, right? And now it's ultimately the reason he's now fired. So it's
I was gonna say if I'm a Vikings fan, I'm looking at the Super Bowl this weekend. I kind of miss Sam Darnold.
You might, but most Vikings fans were cool with moving on from him after the way he played those last 4 games last season. They were like, okay, it was a flash in the pan. A lot of Vikings fans was cool with that. Now, hey man, hindsight's 2020, and we all know that.
But it wasn't a flash in the pan though, and that's the problem. Like, when your quarterback has a string of bad games, you can't discard him. You can't throw him away.
Yeah, but okay, I do agree with that, right? But that was an outlier season for Sam Darnold at the time, right? So it's not like we were looking at a guy that was doing his usual thing. You know what I'm saying? They were looking at it like we had Kirk Cousins doing just as good as this. We had Kirk Cousins throwing these picks. Now Sam Darnold doing the same thing. We need better, right? So I don't disagree with you. Obviously, now in hindsight, we all know it was somebody that was ascending. But at the time, bro, none of us on this panel batted an eye. None of us when the Vikings moved on from Sam Darnold. We was like, yeah, probably the right choice. Hindsight 2020 is like they look bad for it.
No, I questioned it. I mean, I didn't question it hard because they already drafted JJ McCarthy, so obviously that's who you were going to roll with. But I questioned it, man. Sam got y'all 14 wins, got into the playoffs. Like moving on from a quarterback like that is always a tough decision. And as we can see, the quarterback loses to another team, that team goes to the Super Bowl, now your GM's fired. So
now, hold on.
hindsight is definitely 2020.
Let me add some color here to this conversation when it comes to the other side of the token. Yeah, so they fired the GM for the Vikings. So it's a reactionary league. Let's talk about the Seahawks. I'm not going to sit here and say the Seahawks found the diamond in the rough and they just saw that Darnold was going to be a profit, for them this season. I don't think that's what they saw. I think they saw the market and they made the best decision they could. Like, it's like when you go buy a car, you know what I mean? You go buy a car. It's like, you fucking go up there and you're like, I kind of want the Nissan Maxima, or, I want the, the Infinity this or the BMW that. But then somehow you ended up leaving with a Chevy Cobalt. And you're like, you know what? Fuck it. It's a good car. It's good on gas. The budget works. You know what I'm saying? It's what the bank approved. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what Sam Darnold was for the Seahawks, bro. He was the best available option. They moved on from Geno Smith, who we obviously see is not that good. And people that, like I said last week, people that y'all call experts said it was a bad move to get Sam Darnold, and they did, all that. And with that said, they didn't feel strongly enough in Sam Darnold that they actually, let's be honest, they drafted a quarterback pretty high in the draft last year. So let's not forget about the fact that they drafted a quarterback in the 2nd round last year, just in case the motherfucker shit the bed, because we know that was a possibility, bro. So it's like, I'm not going to sit here and say the Seahawks were just like, oh yeah, we see something in Sam Darnold. They were like, shit, what else are we going to do? And just in case, let's have a backup option.
All right, last part on Sam Darnold before we move on. I think we all would agree he's in the upper half of QBs, but is he top 10?
Yes.
I think at this point he's right around that 10 mark, I would say. But man, what is this? This is when I start thinking about top 10. I gotta ask questions like, what is Sam Darnold without a top 3 receiver and a top 5 defense, bro?
He ain't top 10.
Is he that guy that you can put it all on his shoulders and be like, win us games? I feel like he's not, bro. But I feel like if the situation's perfect around him, he can be successful. To me, once you're in that top 10, you are the reason, right? As my guy Scribb would say, you are the reason, right? And I'm not so sure that Darnold is consistently enough the reason, but this Super Bowl could change that for me.
Top 5, I'll give you. Those are guys that can be the reason. Top 5 through 10, no, man, because if you name some of them 5 through 10 guys, they are not the reason. Is Justin Herbert in your top 10? Because he's not the reason.
I'll throw this thing out there. When it comes to team building,
is Trevor Lawrence the reason? I would say he's top 10, but I wouldn't say he's the reason.
There's a new formula these days when it comes to winning teams, bro. The Eagles did it, and a couple other teams did it. Basically, where you have a good team all around, you have good defense, you have good running game, you have a good line. That's the foundation of your team, and you have a pretty decent quarterback, one that can get the job done. But he's not necessarily the reason, as you guys would say. Now, like you got teams like Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs and stuff too, but like the Seahawks followed the same mold that the Eagles did, in my opinion, which is they found a guy that was budget friendly-ish, serviceable, and good enough to get the job done.
Listen, man. Like I said, I was Sam Darnold from day one. Y'all taking the crap all over my man Darnold. The Seahawks came in with a plan. They won 10 games with Geno Smith. They fired the offensive coordinator. You know who they went and got? Clint Kubiak from the San Francisco 49ers that was there in 2023. You know who was the backup quarterback in 2023? Sam Darnold. So they went and got an offensive coordinator and let him pick a quarterback, and he picked his guy. So to say that there wasn't any faith, no, you had faith in that coach, and you had faith, and he had faith in the quarterback, and now you're in the Super Bowl. There it is. Boom. And another stat, interesting, right? Sam Darnold is younger than Joe Burrow.
Keep y'all on a straight line. That's all you really need. You don't necessarily need him to be the reason. But I'm gonna switch teams, keeping it on the Super Bowl, keeping it on QBs. Let's talk about Drake May, because I kind of feel like he is the reason that the Patriots are here, and I don't know that they make the Super Bowl without some of his stellar play. People will talk about weak schedules, and that's fine, but they played a gauntlet once they got in the playoffs, and Drake May has had an MVP level season. So I got to ask the question, is Drake May the reason the New England Patriots are in the Super Bowl? I'm going to start with Bryce on this one, because I know you were a big Drake May guy coming out of college.
I was, man. And, I had Drake May right behind Caleb Williams. Obviously, a lot of people thought Caleb Williams was generational talent. I thought Drake May was neck and neck with him when I went through the pre-draft process. And I would say even at this very moment, I think Drake May is better than Sam Darnold. I'm high on Drake May, man. I definitely think he is more of the reason than Sam Darnold is the reason in Seattle, but I don't think he's necessarily the reason either, right? I mean, he's another top 5 defense, some really good playmakers over there. But I think another reason I would give that edge to Drake May as far as being the reason is the way he spreads that ball around, right? Whenever I see a quarterback that it feels like they can throw to anybody, 1 week it's Pop Douglas getting 100. 1 week is Kyle Williams, rookie, getting 100. Next week is Kayshon Boutte getting 100. Like, Stephon Diggs has been the constant, but it's not like I don't think Stephon Diggs is not having a 1,200-yard season. You feel me? There is no just go-to feed this guy every play who's a clear top 3 talent in the league. You got to give Drake May a lot of credit for that, man. He has become, honestly, better quicker than I thought he would. I mean, this dude to me is on pace to be one of the best, if not the best quarterback in the league over these next few seasons. And as long as you can keep him with a strong defense, I think the Patriots are right back where they left off with Belichick and Brady, honestly. History seems to repeat itself, and we could be looking at that 2.0 of those old Patriot dynasties.
Yeah, I completely agree with all that. Drake May has been on fire this season. To your point, the weapons, those weapons aren't bad weapons, but I don't know how many QBs get to the Super Bowl with that roster around them.
Would Sam Darnold get there with that roster?
I don't think so. I really don't. But I'm high on Drake May too, man. I would say Drake May is top 10 right now. We could debate what spot he's in, but I think he's in that top 10. And I want to give a lot of credit to Mike Vrabel as well for putting it. There's not a lot of names on that defense. As a matter of fact, they let go of people that I thought were better than the people they were keeping, and somehow it's still one of the best defenses in the league. So big shout out to Mike Vrabel. The Patriots definitely got the right head coach and the right QB combination, which can go far. T Boogie, man, what are your thoughts on Drake May so far this season, and is he the reason the Patriots are here?
Yeah, I mean, he put up a bunch of numbers, right? 31 tugs, over 4,000 yards. I mean, his stats are slightly better than Darnold's. I think they're both in good situations. I think they both have good staffs, but May's the younger guy, right? So edge goes to the guy with the bigger potential. So I'm impressed with what I've seen from May. He's lived up to the draft hype, the draft billing. Some people had him high, some people didn't believe it. So can't take nothing away from May. The season did kind of fall his way, and within destiny, sometimes you need a bit of luck. I think I seen something that said out of 17 games, 13 of the coaches that he played against are fired. Crazy stat. Something crazy.
Crazy stat. I saw that.
Well, 13 of the teams he played against, because twice, like Miami, right? But so yeah, things fell his way. But he also had to play against a Chargers defense, a Texans defense. You know what I'm saying? He's battled through some defenses, and now he's playing what could be the best defense, right? So if he gets it done, we can't take anything away from May. But I like May. I like May.
Yeah, I agree. I think the regular season was a cupcake schedule for them for sure, and I myself was skeptical based on that. But man, to Scruff's point earlier, Sam Darnold failed in the playoffs. Drake May got to the playoffs and saw some talented defenses and kept pushing like it was any other week. So I got to give Drake a lot of credit. Scruff, man, what are your thoughts on Drake May's season, and is he the reason New England is in the Super Bowl?
No, he's not. He had a great season though, but no, he's not. He's not the reason that they're in the Super Bowl. No, he's not. He had a great season. T stat was great stat there. T. I saw that too. Easy schedule, man. I'm not going to blame it on the schedule. He played phenomenal during the season, so I'm not taking anything away from his regular season. I would say that his playoff performance leaves a bit to be desired. I don't think he's played extremely well in the playoffs. First game, he had a game against Justin Herbert, and he looked marginally better than Justin Herbert, in my opinion. He threw for about 268, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. You know what I mean? He had the next game about 179, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Then obviously the last game, you know, I don't even want to, I mean, his stats suck, but it was in the snow. So, you know, asterisks on that one. But he hasn't been the reason they won any of these 3 games, bro. 1, 2, 3. Any of the games in the playoffs, he hasn't been the reason that they won them. So, no, he's not the reason. The reason is the culture. You know what I mean? The culture is the reason. That's the true reason why they're in the Super Bowl, because the culture that was created. Mike Vrabel, he was the right guy. Well, it's a combination of a few things, actually. Culture and scheme. You got the culture with Vrabel, as Bryce would say. He's a rah-rah guy, right? Leader of men, I would say. And then you got an X's and O's guy. You got McDaniels, right, who was the catalyst behind the Super Bowls with the Patriots with Brady. Might even say that he's the mastermind of some of that shit, right? So you got that. It's a hell of a combo. And you got a great defense. I was in the gym today. I was watching ESPN, and I seen them talking about how they're going to stop Williams. And I'm looking at myself like, who the fuck is Williams? And I'm like, Milton Williams? That's who they're talking about? It's crazy to me. Milton Williams is a hell of a player, though. But how good of a season is Milton Williams having that they're over here talking about him like he's like Myles Garrett or something? And he was just a guy that Eagles just let walk out the door and replaced him. Maybe they shouldn't have, but he's been a big part of that defense. Probably you could argue one of the best players on that defense. So Drake May is not the reason. But I'll say this. If the Patriots are going to win the Super Bowl, he needs to be the reason. You understand? He can't play the way he played during the playoffs thus far. He needs to be the reason. Now, if he goes out there, balls out, and has a great performance like I've seen him do during the regular season, then yes, he is the reason, and he is ascending, and he is a star. And I think he still is a star, but I want to see him do it on the biggest stage. So, yeah, TBD, but right now he's not the reason. But if they're he needs to be.
Those are strong points. Those are strong points. To your point about the playoffs, that Texans game, I would argue that they would have lost that game had C.J. Stroud not completely shit the bed, right? Drake May definitely could have played better himself, and I think that was more of a case of the opposing quarterback losing it more so than anything else with that one. But keeping it pushing on the Super Bowl talk, though, both these teams we've already talked about. Both of them have strong defenses. Defense wins championships, right? We've all heard that a million times. So my next question on the Super Bowl is: which team has the better defense? Whose defense do you trust more? And whose defense do you think has what it takes to get them this dub? Scruff, I'm gonna stay with you on
Seahawks defense. Actually, nah.
it. It is tough. Now, keep in mind, like I mentioned it, you even mentioned Milton Williams. Vrabel's doing a lot in the kitchen with little ingredients. You know what I mean? The Patriots don't have names that stand out to you, but you watch them week to week, and you can't help but be impressed.
Oof, it's crazy, man. The more and more I talk about this, the more I think I should take the Patriots in the Super Bowl. I gotta say Patriots, bro. I don't know why. I've always had a liking of the Patriots defense. Like they've always done well with the least amount of pieces. And I'll say Vrabel's done a great job, but I'll say even during the Belichick years and then even the post-Belichick years, like fantasy football, that's one of my favorite defenses. I shouldn't even tell y'all that. But the Patriots always get me points, bro. Because like they ball out, bro. They play way better than they really are. So yeah, Seahawks is supposed to have the better defense, but I would say the Patriots actually have the better defense and more likely defense to win the Super Bowl. So, yeah, I don't know. The more and more I talk about this, the more I don't think it's in the bag for Seattle anymore.
Bryce, man, I know you watch a lot of football. What are your thoughts on these defenses? Who has the better one?
That was pretty funny. It was that G. Yeah. No, I gotta go with the Seahawks defense, man. First of all, I rock with McDonald. I rock with the head coach, man. Defensive minded guy, came from the Ravens, and he built that defense in the mold of those Ravens defense from just a couple seasons ago when he was leading the helm. Man, that Nick Emanwari boy, he done came into his own, man. That was my guy coming out of South Carolina. Still shocked he dropped to the second round. But he's coming into his own. The pass rush is legit. I rock with Nwosu. Seems like he's always around the quarterback. But, man, the secondary is the most impressive thing to me. I got to give the edge slightly to the Seahawks. I feel Scruff with the Patriots. It's like the sum of their parts seem to be stronger than the individual names. You got to respect that. And they've got some young guys that have really shown out this year, too. A couple rookies on that defense playing well. And then you got Christian Gonzalez, which is going to be one of the more interesting matchups in the Super Bowl, right? I'm sure he's going to get most of those JSN duties. That could be a determining factor there. But I still lean Seahawks. I just think overall, top to bottom, more complete defense.
Yeah, I kind of lean Seahawks too, but I'm not sure if it's because of the names. Because every time I watch New England, they look damn near flawless. T Boogie, man, which defense do you like? I know you see the Seahawks defense twice a year. They look pretty impressive every time they play the 49ers. So what say you?
Seahawks by far, man. I think one of the blueprints I've noticed of some of my favorite defenses lately is if you can rush forward and create pressure, man, it just makes everybody on the back end that much better. But they actually have talent on the back end. So Seahawks, man, no question. I mean, they made my man Brock Purdy struggle, so that's elite stuff right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I knew you were going to go with that after they held the 49ers to what, 6 points? Did y'all get 30 on them at all this season combined in 3 games?
But we beat them when we was full strength, but that's neither here nor there. We still only scored like 16 or 19 when we did beat them. So that's an elite defense, man. That's a Super Bowl caliber defense. I think that defense, and they were going to say it after the Super Bowl, but this Seahawks defense is better than the Legion of Boom.
Ooh. Now, I would say that's a hot take, but it's not because they are. I've seen some numbers comparing them. I've watched the tape. This Seahawks defense is right there with the Legion of Boom. I don't think the names are quite as known yet, but what made the names known for the Legion of Boom was winning the Super Bowl. So you get a dub this weekend, and they're gonna need a nickname.
Bro, yeah, thank you. Somebody said stop the cap. That's blasphemous, bro.
Yeah.
No,
This Seahawks defense is not
No,
up
it's
there
not.
with the Boom.
And the fact that you said it's not a hot take is crazy work.
Yo,
It's
not
definitely
hot
not.
take. What are we doing here? This is hot as takes
Hot
get.
as fish
All right?
grease.
Now, if you look at paper, if you look on paper, I'm sure you can find some sort of stats, right? You can be able to find some stats that show, they're comparable.
What about
Legion of Boom was striking fear into teams every week, bro. Legion of Boom was leaving games with teams scoring top defenses scoring 3 to 6 points, bro. Like, I mean, come on, man. What we doing here, bro?
I mean, I don't mean to be sensationalist, but like the numbers are the numbers. You know what I'm saying? Not to mention, I watched both defenses. I could break down the Legion of Boom and how they was taking PEDs. They were all taking.
Oh, come on, don't be that guy.
I don't know about all
Don't
that.
be that guy. We talk about how good the defense was, not what they were using to be good.
Let's talk actual football. The Legion of Boom was famed for holding every play. They played cover 3 all game, and they held.
Straight up cover 3, and you ain't stopping it, bro.
Hold on. And the philosophy of that team, what was preached in the locker room is if we hold enough, the refs won't throw flags because they don't want to slow the game. So it was preached to go out there and hold, not to go out there and cover. Now, when Browner went to another team, trash. Sherman went to another team. Yeah, he was
all pro on other teams.
Sherman was nice, but I remember Eagles paid big money for Byron Maxwell, and he was a total bust for us.
All right, but hold on, but y'all leaving out. It was still Earl Thomas.
Thomas.
I mean, come on, we gonna say he wasn't a dog. We gonna say Bobby Wagner's not a Hall of Famer. We gonna say Red Bryant in the middle wasn't one of the best nose tackles of the generation.
No.
Like, come on, bro.
A generation.
Oh.
Bro, Red Bryant was one of the best. First of all, nose tackles.
It's kind of a low list because there's not a lot of them, but
Yeah.
It's kind of one of those things where if you know, you know. I bet the Seahawks fans know how important Red Bryant was.
No, I mean he was a dog. Generation gets thrown around a lot.
he ain't got nothing on the dude that was playing nose tackle for the Patriots all those years. What was his name?
He's not Vince Wilson.
Vince Wilfork. Yeah, that's why I said generation.
Red Bryant was one of the best nose tackles of the era. I'll say that. All right. Yeah. Of course, the Niners fans said they use PEDs, right, man? You had to slip that in there and try to. That was nasty work, honestly. I don't think none of that stuff's been substantiated. All right, that's real nasty work. But
crazy.
Legion of Boom is one of the all-time best defenses.
What are we
in
talking?
NFL history.
What are we
bro. They're not even
difference.
one defense this season.
The Seahawks are number. I think they're right behind the Texans.
You can't be right behind someone and be number one. All right, you either number one.
Look, the Seahawks were not number one defense year in and year out every year. But I will say the difference between the Legion of Boom and this current is that the Legion of Boom had a run. Right, they went from like 2012 to 2014, 15, being at least top 5, top 3. So I'll say this: this current team needs to have some longevity before we really compare them to the Legion of Boom. But based on this season in a vacuum, this season has been Legion of Boom-esque.
Was it the Legion of Boom that did Peyton Manning dirty? Man, disrespected one of the all-time greats.
Wasn't Peyton already done?
Man, had that man seeing Sam Darnold ghost.
They the ones that disrespected Brady with the "you mad, bro."
Yeah, crazy, man.
That's how Richard got on the map.
They're not even better than the Patriots defense, so they definitely ain't better than the Legion of Boom. So fuck out of here.
The Seahawks defense right now is definitely better than the Patriots defense. The
Patriots defense is really
good.
But that's my opinion. So when the Patriots go out there and they held the Seahawks down, then I want to make sure that we're here to talk about this next week.
All right, we'll definitely bring it up because I'm feeling the Seahawks defense. But last but not least, hold on,
one more thing. I just got to say it. 43-8 versus Peyton Manning, bro. An all-time record-setting Peyton Manning. He had like 50 touchdowns in the season, going crazy. lost 43 he put up 8 points against them boys, bro.
That was bad.
Man, stop, bro. This Seahawks defense is not comparable.
What year was that?
That's when he was on the Broncos, I think.
So, the Broncos, he was setting them crazy records. They was going stupid, throwing
I'm gonna have to fact check that one because I'm pretty sure this was broken neck. Peyton just had my surgery put together.
Nah, bro. Crippled Peyton is the one that got the Super Bowl. Remember, because the Broncos had a good defense.
Not crippled.
Yeah, when Peyton was on his last leg, that's when he got a bowl. He lost to the Seahawks when he was on top of his shit. This was unbelievable, Peyton. Record-setting Peyton. He got embarrassed, bro.
I mean, this is also Marshawn Lynch, Russell Wilson, Golden Tate. Like
8 points is 8 points, T. Like, yes, but those guys wasn't playing defense. They had 8 points in a bowl, bro.
So if they hold Drake May to 8 points, what happens?
You want to bet? We can bet a dub right now on that if you got that much faith.
I ain't gonna bet a dub, but I don't know. Seahawks and kill these boys.
I got the Seahawks winning too, but at least at the moment that could change.
Well, the moment is here. The moment is here. It's time to put them picks in. We live on Sports for the Culture. The world is watching, and we finna put them Super Bowl picks in for everybody to see. So Bryce, man, I'm gonna stick with you right now, man, because you're saying a lot. So who are you rolling with to win the Super Bowl in 2026?
With all that said, I'm going with the Seahawks.
They're not holding them to 8 points, but I'm picking them to win.
They're not holding them to 8 points for sure. And there's a lot of factors that go into it, right? But the number one factor for me is that three letter word, JSN. Look at them stats, bro. Rome said, fact check it, Rome. They got your facts, Rome.
All right, so 2013 was that the year you played the Seahawks?
Shout out to the chat, man.
That's a phenomenal season, by the way.
Appreciate it, Brandon.
Crazy season.
455 tuds had 8 points in the bowl, bro.
Yeah, that's a great defense, bro. Probably one of the best defenses of all time, bro. So, put some respect on that name for the Legion of Boom.
I can't argue with that.
But when we look at this game, man, a lot of factors, bro. I got to take into account the skid that Drake May's been on. As good as he was this season, as much as I think he was the reason for the Patriots' successes, it ain't looked good the last few weeks. Get some subpar competition, right? We're being honest. And then I also got to take into account the fact that JSN to me is looking like maybe the best player in the entire league. Like straight up, like to me, this guy's been, I haven't seen anyone better this season than JSN at football. And if he has another one of those games where he's open every single play, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to beat the Seahawks when it's moving like that. Kenneth Walker is another person I've been impressed with. I think when you combine Kenneth Walker having a good game with JSN being open every play, that's just tough to stop, dog. Now, I did mention last week on the show that like the Patriots are one of those teams that just seem to make, like I said, if you play Madden, you're going to call it the bullshit play. In Madden, every Madden game, the game just happens, the computer throws a couple bullshit plays in there, and if you can capitalize on them, you're going to win, right? And the Patriots to me are one of those teams, bro. They get a fluke-ass blocked field goal, take it to the crib. They get a fluke block punt and jump on it, a fluke pick where the dude throws it. It looks like it's a forward pass. It's really behind the line. They pounce on it. Like if they get one or two of them joints, and I say that because like those opportunities lend itself to folks that are prepared. So I'm not just calling them straight up bullshit because you got to be prepared to receive those plays, right? And the Patriots are that type of team. So credit to Mike Vrabel for that. If they can make a couple of those happen, and it seems like we always see a couple of those plays in good Super Bowls, right? Then they got a shot. I feel like Super Bowls in this day and age, you're either going to get a great historic game or it's going to be a blowout. If it's a blowout, 9 times out of 10, Seattle blew the Patriots out. If it's a great historic game, it might come down to one of them bullshit plays, and that lends itself to the Patriots. So that's how I see it.
Yeah.
No, that's a good point. Scruff made the point earlier about the reason the Patriots are here is the culture. Teams with good culture seem to get the better side of luck on those bullshit plays, so to speak. You know what I mean? They seem to be more prepared for when that ball randomly pops out or the wind starts blowing a little harder than you thought. Scruff, man, you were kind of flip flopping a little earlier, not sure about the Seahawks, Patriots, kind of talking yourself out of it. I'm gonna put you on the spot right now, man. Lock it in. Who are you picking in this year's Super Bowl?
I'm going with the Patriots, man. I'm going with the Patriots. I don't know, man. Everybody going with the other side, it makes me feel like I should go the opposite way. You know what I'm saying? That's just kind of how I'm feeling. So the reason I'm saying that is because a lot of what Bryce said, you know what I'm saying, the Patriots do tend to make those plays. And when you make those plays consistently, they're no longer bullshit lucky plays. They're actually pretty consistently part of your regimen. You know what I'm saying? So it happens quite frequently. You know what I mean? Somebody in there asked who the Super Bowl MVP is going to be. It's probably going to be Drake May, to be honest. Like I said, I already gave you the script. You know what I mean? Like, in order for the Patriots to win, Drake May needs to ball out, and they need to make a defensive play. So it'll be Drake May or Milton Williams, straight up, a.k.a. Ghost is what his name's going to be. Ghost number one for Sam Darnold. So, you know, I think JSN is a wild card, though. If JSN has a crazy game, I think the Seahawks could win. But I don't foresee this being a blowout. I don't think the Patriots are going to go in the Super Bowl and get blown out. I just don't think that that's in their DNA. And if you make it a close game, at the end of the game, I think the Patriots have a chance to win that game. So I'm going with the Patriots.
Hey, how do we feel? And before I ask you, how do we feel about the matchup with JSN and Christian Gonzalez? Do we feel? I know JSN's been going crazy this year. Christian Gonzalez is a top 5 corner. Do we feel like he neutralizes him at all?
No.
Not even a little. No slowing down. I mean, I think JSN's still going to get his. But
see, here's the thing, though. He don't need to neutralize him, though. All he needs to do is get a turnover. Man. And that's very possible.
They might be better off just putting Christian Gonzalez on the other side. Just make sure this receiver gets 0. All right, we know JSN gonna eat. Make sure Kupp gets 0. All right, because JSN gonna eat when they do that top 100 at the end of the year, bro. I'm expecting JSN to be the number 1 player in the league, bro. Like, I have not seen a player this season better than that man. Straight up.
Fair.
Good point. T Boogie, man, is the NFC West taking the Super Bowl title this year?
Yeah, I hate to see Seattle win, but Seattle's gonna win by double digits. I don't think this is gonna be I don't think it's gonna be fun. The only thing that gives me a little bit of pause is the Patriots are a winning organization. There's so many people in that building that have been there before, that know how to manage these weeks leading up to the Super Bowl, and that has to mean something. So Pats could find a way to keep it close, but if it was just a regular football game on a neutral field, middle of the season, this one wouldn't even be close. But I still don't think it's close. And as far as the JSN and Christian matchup, you can't cover JSN, and namely because when I watch videos of JSN, he's running routes that, like, and I'm not taking nothing away from him, because if you put the ball near him, he's going to catch it. I've seen him catch passes out of bounds, one hand, all sorts of stuff. But he's also running routes where if you put me out there, I'm going to catch the ball because I'm that open. Like, he's getting schemed up in a way that you can't even put your corner on him. Like, he's running post out of the backfield. I mean, which is funny. That's a play my son runs in 707. It always works.
Well, I know the play you talk about. I'm because I'm coaching this year. I was literally drawing that right off of the playbook the other day.
Oh, you can't really stop stuff. How you gonna put your cornerback and linebacker and tell them check the running back? No, you're not. You're not gonna come out in a dime package, because dime packages are extinct, other than maybe some sort of random prevent. So I think Seattle has the better scheme. I think they have the better defense. I think they have the better coaching staff, and I think they have the better talent top to bottom. So this could be the start of something special for Seattle. It's just, if they were in a different division, I'd say it's the start of a dynasty, but the hardest division in football. So they get this one, and we'll see where it goes after that.
Yeah, me, myself, man, I think I'm going to roll with Seattle. I was almost talking myself out of it, kind of like Scruff. I want to say Seattle wins by 2 scores, but I just feel like the Patriots are going to keep it closer. The only way I see Seattle losing the game is Sam Darnold seeing ghosts. So, like, this is a complete Sam Darnold legacy game. If the Seahawks lose this game, it's Sam Darnold's fault. If they win this game, it's Sam Darnold's fault. I don't
agree with that, though. I think there's a path where he just gets beat. Like he doesn't play like shit. He doesn't see ghosts. He doesn't. I mean, that's what I was saying. It's funny. It makes for good media. But like real talk. Like he could have a great game and still lose, bro.
Why wouldn't a young guy be more prone to playing bad in the biggest moment
if the game is close, Sam Darnold has to get it done. If the game is close, Sam Darnold can't afford to lose. You guys told me earlier, if the stain stays on his name, this will be what people remember. People won't remember that you won 28 games in 2 years. People are not going to care. They're going to remember that you failed in the playoffs with the Vikings and that you lost in the Super Bowl. Now, he could have 3 tuds, 1 interception. If that 1 interception is losing the game, that's all we're going to talk about.
If he plays turnover free, I don't think anyone's going to say that he choked.
I don't think he has to play turnover free. In fact, even that last game, it's not even a game if Tariq Woolen doesn't go out there and effectively get himself put off the team for next year.
Yeah, he definitely gone in free agency. And my last question on the Super Bowl: if the Patriots win, is Drake May like the greatest QB? Like, where y'all putting Drake May winning the Super Bowl in the second year?
Well, we got to put him over Jaden Daniels.
We could have that discussion right now too. I was going to ask that too.
I couldn't wait to get that off. But
I mean, I'm be real. I got Drake May over Jaden right now.
Yeah, you have to.
No, you don't have to, bro.
You don't have to, but I do.
No, I mean, logic says yes.
Just like this, you can and I couldn't really argue with it after the season that May's had. But I'll say this, bro. Like May had probably the easiest route to a Super Bowl I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Like, what was the quarterback he played last game? The guy that T was so high on at Auburn.
Jared Stidham. No, that's my guy.
As soon as a guy gets thrust in the limelight, T was all of a sudden high on him since college, all right? But who was that quarterback from Auburn, man?
Jared Stidham.
Jared Stidham. T said, hey, I loved him at Auburn. I was like, okay, good luck.
I always got receipts. I got the tweets.
I'm sure you do. I'm fucking with you. But all I'm saying is, bro, you mad Jared Stidham. You think Jaden Daniels would have won that instead of having to face the Eagles defense? All right. Jaden Daniels would have been in the same Super Bowl if he had to play Jared Stidham. So as much as I love May and what he did this season, bro, he doesn't automatically leapfrog into the top 5 for me just because he had this easy path. Now I will say he's more firmly in that top 10 for me than Darnold is.
Well, let's keep it just on the 2024 class, right? We know we got Caleb, Jaden, Bo Nix, who I think Bo Nix needs to be in this conversation because we talk about Jared Stidham and Drake May getting there. You just said it. Drake got there because he played Jared Stidham. If he plays Bo Nix, which one of those QBs are in the Super Bowl? So I think Bo is very much in this convo with Jaden, Caleb, and Drake May. But let's just keep it with those 4. The other guys I think aren't quite there yet. Rank those 4 real quick.
If it's a power ranking, bro, if it's in a vein of a power ranking, I'll put May 1, right? Because we have to go with where they are at the current moment. But we're talking about how I just kind of feel about the talent-wise. Right now, I'm probably still putting Jaden 1, May 2, Caleb 3, Nix 4. But that's not to really knock anybody because I feel like that quarterback class is going to go down as historic and go down as resetting the quarterback crop of the NFL.
For sure.
Yeah, I think it's one of, if not the greatest class of all time. It's trending that way already.
Yeah, it's a damn good class because they're all good as hell, man. To be honest with you, y'all not gonna like my list, but I got Caleb Williams number 1. That's my guy. He's shown me what I need to see. So Caleb Williams is my number 1 guy. If Caleb Williams was had that schedule, he'd be in the Super Bowl too. Straight up. So Caleb Williams is my number 1 guy. I got to put Drake May number 2 just based on the fact that he performed so well and got his team to the Super Bowl. But I would say from a talent perspective, Jaden Daniels is number 2. Just like the draft, actually. Matter of fact, the real answer is the draft order, as a matter of fact. Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Bo Nix. That's the actual order. That's the order they got drafted. That's the best of them. They got it right. So
it is hard to put anybody above Caleb after. If you watch Caleb, bro, like it's hard. It's hard. I also like what Caleb did this season because the Bears defense is not that great, in my opinion. I think they were kind of weak. So he did have to do a lot. That's why. And Penix ain't shown enough. JJ McCarthy ain't shown enough. That's why I left him out of it.
And I'm gonna throw this out there too with Penix, man. I know everybody ready to call him ass. This smells a lot like Caleb Williams last season when everybody said he was ass. So I'm not ready to call this guy ass either. So, you know, you could say he's ass and all that shit, but he's only been in the league for 2 years. So y'all real quick to throw people out in the garbage and shit. And Sam Darnold's in the Super Bowl. So like, just think twice before you throw somebody out in the garbage like that, bro.
Yeah, I think the jury is still out for Penix. I just need to see more, but he's definitely not in the combo right now.
Let T tell it. The jury's still out on Spencer Rattler. He's going to be number one from the class in a couple seasons. But
back when when everybody got drafted, I'm pretty sure you said whoever ended up on the Patriots was the one that was going to have the worst career. Drake May's already flipped that. So if you were to re-rank that class right now, those four we named, how would you rank them?
Kind of the way I had them originally: Caleb, May, Jaden. Then I had Penix over Bo. Not sure how that's going to turn out, but Bo looks confident. He's playing with a good OC, good coach. So we'll see how it goes. This reminds me of like the legendary class from Naruto. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's dog. Naruto, Sakura, Orochi, like everybody's a dog. You know, Sasuke, like, but only one shall emerge, and that's yet to be seen. But right now, Caleb looks like he's Naruto. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of he looks like he might be the one that has all the ability. You know what I'm saying? He got that inner demon in him, that fox demon. The rest of those guys look good, but Caleb is doing stuff we like. That pass he made in the playoffs, bro, back 45 yards, backpedaling. It might have been further than 45 yards. Like, bro, that's not normal. That's not normal quarterback play, man. Oh,
that's a fact. That shit was crazy.
Yeah, it's hard to not put Caleb number one, man. Like off talent alone, like he does stuff that I don't know if anybody can.
If you give Caleb that defense, this is a different story. Like I watched them play the 49ers, and that's my frame of reference because I watch every Niners game. He hung like 40-something on us, but like, bro, my man just has so much arm talent that it might be his flaw. He might have so much arm talent that he don't even care to read defenses. I see a guy, I point, click, shoot, it's there. You know, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, because sometimes you ask him to do a 3-step drop and hit the slant, and it's 10 feet over dude's head. I mean, I feel y'all, but there's some things about Caleb's game that I can't unsee, and it's typically in those 3rd and 7 wide open dig route. Ball hits the ground. Like,
I agree with T, man. I think Caleb's issue is that he has a superpower and he doesn't always know how to control it. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be able to hit those wide open digs. It's not always going to be a scramble drill, but once he comes into his own, man, I think the league is in big trouble. And then I know nobody really said too much about Bo Nix, but the reason I say Bo got to be in it is because we've seen Jaden struggle. We've seen, we said Drake May struggled last year. Caleb definitely struggled last year. Bo Nix started off struggling, but all he's done is gotten better. Now, he hasn't taken some giant leap, but game by game by game, leading up to this season and well into it, all Bo Nix did was improve. So I think he's definitely one of the ones. Slow and steady can also win the race. So I think Bo Nix should be in the combo.
One thing I like about Bo Nix versus the other guys is he don't play that I'm going to spread it around to everybody game. He's getting the ball to Cortland Sutton. Like, we know where the ball is going eventually. Like, he's trying to get the ball to his guys. The rest of those guys are just kind of dipping and dunking whoever. And I think that bodes well for him over time. But just knowing who you are and just saying, I got a guy and I'm going to take my guy can take you real far as a quarterback.
Nah, facts, bro. And we use this term negatively a lot. But to me, it's not a negative term, especially now. But ultimate game manager, bro. Like, and to me, an elite game manager is an elite quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I think one of y'all said it recently in the group chat. Like, Tom Brady was an elite game manager, bro. And if you can be an elite game manager, you're going to be one of the best quarterbacks, if not the best in the league. And if Bo's able to keep building off of that, knowing where to go in the moments, the sky could be the limit for Bo. And the thing I love about him the most is that he knows when to use his legs, bro. I was getting on one of these quarterbacks about that a couple weeks ago. It's like, bro, run the ball when you need to. And Bo Nix, man, he gonna tuck and run when he needs to run it, bro. I think that's probably my favorite thing about him.
Yeah, he was actually one of the least sacked quarterbacks the whole season. He either, like to Bryce's point, he either ran it when he needed or got the ball out of his hand. So that's an impressive stat. Anything else on the Super Bowl before we move on?
Hey,
What color is the Gatorade gonna be, fellas?
Blue.
Yeah, I was gonna say blue. Is it ever blue?
Blue's a good chance, bro. Blue's a good chance.
I'm gonna go with the yellow. You know what I'm saying? Oh, wrinkle.
What's y'all's favorite Gatorade?
I feel like those are the original Gatorades right there.
Well, honestly, blue, the light one, the light blue, the ice joint, that's the best one.
I ain't gonna hold you though, bro. Like, you know, when they mix the Gatorade, you know what I'm saying? You know the Gatorade you drink at football practice versus the bottle Gatorade. That Gatorade that gets mixed with that powder,
way
that
better.
yellow one go crazy, dog.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. You put a little extra of that powder in that yellow one, boy, that shit tastes like Kool-Aid.
Nah, the powder Gatorade is right, for sure.
All right.
I'm that clear, man. That Arctic Frost, that's my favorite.
Yeah, that's the shit I'm talking about, T.
Frost.
It's so refreshing.
It's
Come on,
clear.
That one I feel like I gotta get on special.
Oh, you talking
occasions.
about the white one?
Yeah,
Nah, never mind there.
that's my favorite.
That's weird.
Gatorade go
Nah,
crazy.
the Arctic Frost is really good.
I feel like no one likes this joint, but that purple joint, that purple fierce joint go crazy, bro.
Yeah, that's all good too.
Man, this might be a story for off air, man. But I got fired from a job for stealing that purple joint. It was one of the fucking worst moments of my life, man. I went back and told my old coach I lost my job. He was like, "You lost your job for stealing grape drink?" I said, "Bro, don't do me like that, man." Tough, man. It was tough.
Oh man,
Let that be a lesson to anybody listening, man. Stealing is never worth it.
that's a fact, though.
All right, man. Keeping it pushing to the NBA. And speaking of stealing, my opinion, the next guy we're about to talk about is stolen a lot of money from a lot of teams. You guys might disagree, though. The trades are moving wild and furious, and I'm talking about one James Harden, who just got traded from the Clippers. So it is a pretty big trade. So what are y'all first thoughts on the move, and what's to come of this? Scruff, I'm gonna start with you.
So I seen a very hilarious tweet. It was basically like all of the different ways that James Harden has forced himself out of a situation. Number one was the fat suit. Number two was Daryl Morey is a liar. And then number three was him requesting a trade after the Clippers won like 15 of their last 20 games. So like, what the hell is going on with James Harden? It's just, you know, they say happy hoes, man. They just some people just ain't happy, bro. James Harden ain't never gonna be happy, bro, and he ain't never gonna get this shit done. So like, you know. So what are you doing there? So yeah, as far as the trade goes, I think it's a great trade for the Clippers. They got James Harden for like nothing, right? Stole him from Philly, but also they lost all their draft picks in the last couple of years, right? Between Paul George and all the other shit that they did, they traded SGA. Like they could have had the best young core in the league if they would have kept SGA, but you know they don't. Now the Thunder, you know, they're the best young core in the league. Now the Clippers is basically looking like. All the teams around the league were looking at their draft picks and basically saying like Clippers draft pick, like actually Philly has draft pick in 2 years from now. I was thinking to myself, like, I was really looking forward to them being really bad in 2 years. And I'm like, you know what? Because I didn't see any young talent on that roster at all. Now I think Darius Garland is a young talent, and I think he's going to get unlocked a little bit. I don't feel like he was a good fit next to Donovan Mitchell. I think before Donovan Mitchell there, he was ascending. He was one of the best guards in the East. But when Donovan Mitchell came there, he was too ball dominant. It didn't work. So flip side to the Cavs, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like, honestly. So I get what they're doing. It's like a 2K trade. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it reminds me of like when Russell Westbrook was on the Rockets with Harden. It's like what are y'all thinking? Like, it sounds good on paper, but is it good on the court? I don't think so. Donovan Mitchell's a ball dominant player. James Harden is the most ball dominant player in league history. So I don't understand how that's going to work. All right. So, yeah, I don't think it's going to work. I don't know what the Cavs are doing. They honestly probably just needed to get rid of Garland, period. But, I mean, when you got to get something back for him, but James Harden, that's what you guys wanted back. So I think it's a weird-ass trade for for the Cavs. Cavs ain't shit, and they ain't never gonna be shit.
Yeah, damn. Bryce, man, what are your thoughts on the James Harden move, man?
Y'all know Harden is my guy, man. I think Scruff was a little harsh. I think he's also talking as a scorned Philly fan, so I get it. What are the Cavs doing? Was Scruff's question. Bro, the Cavs are going all in for this season, bro. They looking around at the East like, all right, Boston don't have their best player. New York is in shambles. Toronto, do we really have to worry about them? Bucks, Giannis about to get traded. Like this, Indiana's best player is hurt for the season, right? Like this is our best chance of winning a chip. And are we going to win it with Darius Garland? Probably not, right? They're looking at it probably like, yeah, we probably don't get it with Darius Garland. So the team they're really eyeing is the Detroit Pistons, bro. What do you need to beat the Detroit Pistons right now? You're going to need firepower, bro, because the Detroit Pistons are putting up points in droves. James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, that might give you enough to beat the Pistons, bro, in a 7-game series. To me, it's a short-sighted move for sure, so I can get why Scruff's critical. But there's a good chance that Donovan Mitchell doesn't want to be a Cleveland Cavalier after this season, right? So if they're weighing out their options like, yo, this could be our last year or two with Donovan Mitchell, then we've got to rush and try to make something happen while we've got him. Darius Garland, for as much as I like Darius Garland, he's been an off-injured player, bro. And when he's out for a minute. We saw what happened in the playoffs a year, what was that, 2 years ago? When he got hurt in the playoff run and couldn't contribute. So you throw James Harden in the mix with a player like Jared Allen, so they got their lob threat over there. You know, you give James Harden a lob threat, you good to go. They got a couple shooters over there, DeAndre Hunter, a couple other guys that I can't even think of right now. But I'm just saying they got pieces. You throw Donovan Mitchell, James Harden together, you got a shot to win in the weak East. You get to the championship, anything's possible if you got James Harden in a 7-game series. So I kind of like the move for right now. I don't like it long term, but I do like it for putting your chips all in, especially if you're not convinced Donovan Mitchell's going to stay.
Nah, I feel what you're saying, Bryce. I think it's a pretty decent short-term move. I don't know if I like the move long-term. I'm a big James Harden fan myself. Does he really move the needle that much, though? Or the Cavs really about to be, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not too sure. T Boogie, basketball coach. I know you know ball, man. Do you like this move, and do you feel like this move really catapults the Cavs?
Yeah, I think we see the Cavs 5th or 6th place. I think they finish in the top 3 on this move alone. You're not going to win. I mean, you had a puncher's chance to win with Garland, but you're in the middle of the pack with him. That's what we know. With Harden there, a guy that now we don't have to like. The biggest thing about Harden is right. He fades in the playoffs, right? Now we don't need Harden to score in the playoffs. We don't need him to score. You can be the number 2 option, but you having the ball in your hand, you still have the ability to facilitate. So if Donovan Mitchell can't get it going, Harden can. And if they both get it going, the Cavs are going to win. And if the Pistons is the team that we're worried about, if we're worried about the Pistons, I promise you that you can let Cade score however many you want. Mobley and Allen can handle Jalen. Like that's not going to be a problem. And the rest of the team is just a bunch of randoms. You know what I'm saying? They got a Thompson twin, but like that's a defensive guy at this point in his career. Cavs even got because they just disrespected LeBron. He's shooting like damn near 50% from 3. Like he don't miss. So it's like you surround 2 scorers now, and you got Wade, you got shooters, you got bigs. I think this is a great move for Cleveland for this season. But great move. It's like you playing poker, you look at your hand. Hey, we all in. We all in. I don't care what else is on the table. I don't care what cards you got. With this hand, we all in, bro. And sometimes that's what it takes. They not trying to build a dynasty. They trying to get a championship without LeBron.
I respect it. The thing is that it's very rare that you trade for a guy like James Harden in the middle of the season, and then you turn around that same season and have success with that team with the limited amount of time they have to build chemistry together. I've never seen that happen before.
I mean,
Yeah, that's an excellent point.
So it's not going to happen.
We've seen it done with an entire season, right? We've seen Kawhi lift an entire.
Hey, I'm speaking from experience as well here, Bryce, because I remember the first season when we got James Harden, and I felt just like you.
Yeah, but
we traded Ben Simmons. We ended up with James Harden. Like we playing with house money, and I'm like, yo, let's try to get this thing together before the playoffs. And like we kind of was starting to get it together, and then we couldn't get it done before the playoffs. We ended up, doing decent though. But I don't think they're gonna be able to like make a run with James Harden. They're gonna make the playoffs, yeah.
The one difference I'd say between that move y'all made and the move that Cleveland just made is y'all's move wasn't really a 1-for-1 swap, right? What I mean is like Ben Simmons and James Harden are such different players. You feel me? You're not really upgrading from Ben Simmons. You're getting a totally different player from Ben Simmons. Whereas Garland and Harden is almost like Harden's like the ultimate version of Garland. He's the 6'6" version of Garland versus like, where like, you guys lost a big piece of your team by losing Ben Simmons, right? You lost that defensive stopper. You lost that defensive playmaker that he served. Where as far as like what the Cavs are losing versus what they're gaining, they're not really losing anything by bringing on James Harden. You know what I'm saying? Because what did they lose in Garland? They just got a better version of Garland, in my opinion. Way better.
I feel what they gave up was fair for what they got back. But I think that adding James Harden to your locker room is a negative. So I think it's an addition that ends up being a subtraction. It's not good for anybody. Trust me.
I also feel like what Harden has like kind of morphed into late stage of his career, it's like totally different than what he was when he arrived in Philly, right? I feel like Harden's kind of accepted his lot. Where he kind of understands exactly what he is at this point. Harden's not trying to average 30 and 12 anymore, bro. That's not what he's going out there to do night after night. He's cool with being a 20-10 guy. And if you can give me consistent 20-10 out of Harden, shooting from 38% from three, you pair that with Donovan Mitchell, who can go off of 50 any night.
See, but that's what he was the final year he was with Philly. And the thing about that is like he might be a 20-10 guy during the regular season, but then during the playoffs, he's a 0-10 guy.
yeah,
And that's where it really comes down to, man. That's the interesting part about the convo to me is, well, I think we're all fans of James Harden, but James Harden to me just doesn't have that moment that says, this is the guy that I'm going to get and my team's really going to take that leap. Like more times than not, James Harden is small in those big moments.
Like we was talking about Sam Darnold shrinking in big moments. Like we need to be talking about James Harden shrinking in big moments because he's shrunk in way more big moments than Sam Darnold. You know what I'm saying? Like he's consistently shrunk in the biggest moments in elimination games. So no, I'm not feeling it. The best move in the East was not made by the Cavaliers. It was made by the Boston Celtics.
Come on,
Okay, talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it. The Boston Celtics, I actually, we want to run some tape. I said this last season when Tatum got hurt, I said the Celtics are still going to be one of the top 3 seeds in the East without Jaylen Brown. Y'all remember that? Yeah, it's starting to sound a little familiar, ain't it? Because I told y'all this was going to happen. I said, because it's a good organization, it's a good team. They know how to do it. I fucking hate them, but they know what they're doing. So they go and they basically they started the season with, I told you the issue with them was their front court, right? They had this dude named Keita who T told me he was a rising young talent. I disagree, but like, oh yeah, he's a young talent. I'm like, I don't know. So they had Keita, and then they had like Sam Hauser, and then they had like basically a whole bunch of bums playing at center, and they were getting cooked regularly, right? And then they made a smart move, which is they got rid of Anthony Simons, who was kind of unnecessary for them, right? They basically had him in a 6-man role, and he could play way better somewhere else. And then they brought in Vucevic, bro. And I'll let you to go back my history with Vucevic. I know that's a solid player, bro. That's a solid player, bro. Underrated, probably one of the most underrated bigs in the NBA, bro. So what they just did is fortified their one weakness, which was center, with a solid ass center. Now, if you ask me, he's a better center than they had over the last 5, 6, 7 years. He's better. He's a better center than Al Horford was on his last leg. He's a better center than, I mean, Porzingis. You know, he had a little bit more game and shit, but like, I would say he's probably more consistent and better than Porzingis too. So I would say that this is a real good move for Boston. I mean, like, they still down without Tatum, but at the same time, they go on and come into the playoffs with a pretty formidable team, and the East is pretty much wide open. Y'all said the Pistons is the team to beat. You know what that tells me? That tells me the East is wide open, bro. You know what I'm saying?
The East is definitely pretty open, no question. In
reality, the Knicks, I'm gonna give some love to the Knicks. The Knicks are, to me, the Knicks are the team to beat in the East. They won the NBA Cup. They are the best, most formidable team in the East. They were knocking on the door last year. They're right back here this year. Now the question going to be: are they going to keep the core in place, or are they going to make that trade for Giannis? Because the NBA deadline is still looming. So if they make that trade for Giannis, that's going to be interesting. That's going to shake up the league in an interesting way because it could make them better, or it could be another situation where they have to figure out what their chemistry looks like, and then all of a sudden, Pistons looking pretty good now again. You know what I mean? So I really don't know, but I'll say that Boston made a good move.
That's where I kind of wanted to take it next, sticking with the trade rumors. I was going to ask about the Giannis situation. You guys have been telling me since last summer Giannis will be on the move. Here we are, start of February. It hasn't happened just yet. T Boogie, man, I know you're a big Bucks fan. So what's up with your man Giannis, man? Are they shipping him out or what?
I hope. Time to go, man. Show's over. Please get him off my team. Like, the team was never the same when we lost Drew Holiday. Like, we've tried it. You know what I'm saying? We even hired his brothers. Like, we've done everything we could do. We got one ring out. And time to go, man. Be honest, go spread your wings, man. Go spread your wings. Go to Miami. You know what I'm saying? Give us some assets. Give us some picks. Let us start over. We try and draft from the top, man. We need as many draft picks so we can move up in this draft as possible.
And then I got a question on that one too, man. How many draft picks should Giannis go for? We saw the Grizzlies trade Jaren Jackson earlier for about 3 first-round picks, which I thought was interesting. What are your thoughts on that trade? And if you were an NBA GM, what does your return for Giannis look like?
I mean, you got to have a good young rising star, and you got to have like 4 or 5 picks. You know what I mean? Depending on what the trade package is. I heard Rockets was offering Sengun and picks. I heard I heard that. I heard the Knicks is offering Cat and picks. All right. I heard the Spurs was offering none of the 3 guards, but they're willing to offer somebody. Can't remember who.
T, you shook your head at the Cat trade. Do you not want Cat on the Bucks, or if you're the Knicks, would you not do that?
I only want Cat expiring contract or something, and I need 2 of those 3 guards if it's the Spurs. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And whoever, anybody else,
you're not going to get any
first round picks till.
Spurs are not trading any of those 3 guards. I'll tell you that right now. They're definitely not trading Harper or Castle.
Well, then, Well, listen, a regular team, one of these sorry teams like the Wiz or the Kings or the, you know what I'm saying? We need every first round pick till 2032. All right. At least 2032, maybe 2033. We need first round picks until 2 more primary elections. 8 years. We need at least 8 years of first round picks.
See, now this is actually the smartest thing I've seen in a while, and it's the under the radar thing that it probably won't happen, but it could happen. Is the Thunder got the most picks in the league? They could go get Giannis.
Nah, I think I mentioned that.
That'd be crazy.
That would be the one that could. And then they could legitimately give up Chet and still be all right, bro.
Yeah, they could give up Chet, or they could give up J-Dubs because they've been playing pretty well without J-Dubs.
I don't think they're giving that man up.
I think that's exactly what they would do, but we'll see. I don't think they're going to do it though.
I think that in a bunch of picks, but I don't know if that makes the Thunder way better. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing we were just talking about, right? With Harden and Embiid. And when you got guys that can potentially occupy the same spot on the floor, it makes the offense a little more tricky, right? Because if one guy has the ball, What is Giannis doing when SGA's dribble, foul bait? Is Giannis just standing outside waiting for a kick out three? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Fast
So what do? So you have SGA stand on the wing while Giannis drives and collapses the defense. I don't know that Giannis makes the team offensively that much better. Defensively, hell yeah, he's better than Chad. You know what I'm saying? That's not even close. But it'd be interesting, but I don't think it's one of those trades where it's guaranteed to work. You know what I'm saying?
I don't feel like OKC even needs to do it, right? Like I feel like that's a greedy trade on OKC's part. Just you've already done well building with young
It's not
talent.
greedy. You got all those
Like,
picks. What are you doing with them?
Yeah,
You just won the chip. You're the best team in the league. You don't need to go get Giannis. You know what I mean? Like you're risking messing up chemistry for what?
well, it's like when the Warriors brought in KD. All right, you don't need to, but if you do it, you might be guaranteed one. Where right now, yeah, you could probably win.
Didn't they lose to Bron the year before they got KD?
What's that?
Didn't they lose in the finals the year before they got KD?
Yeah, I mean that gives them motivation to do so. But who's saying they can't just say, okay, fuck it, we kill.
Well, I'm just saying.
We're just gonna reload and just do it again. Like why
that's the difference, though. Like if I'm OKC, I don't even feel like I need to reload. Like at least not with a cannon.
If you're always looking to improve your team, and you're that kind of a GM, Giannis is a generation.
I just like the risk. The risk doesn't outweigh the reward to me. Like if we trade for Giannis and we don't win, that's a fail. Whereas opposed we could not.
The wrong freeze.
Something happened with the service. I think.
Yeah, like what I'm saying is like, don't get me wrong. I like the Thunder, right? But let's not act like they played some top competition in the finals, right? They played a team who lost their best player in the finals, and the finals was still pretty competitive, considering that the team that they beat didn't have their best player. So it's not like a foregone conclusion. OKC wins the finals with the current roster, right? But if you put Giannis in and you swap him for Chet, you're getting closer.
I still don't think that's a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, but you're getting a lot closer to that guaranteed chip than you do when you are with Chet Holmgren, bro. If you bring in the MVP of the league and Giannis, bro.
I mean, if you're just comparing Chet and Giannis head up, there's no argument, man. I'm just saying, like, I don't know that as the GM of OKC that I even need to make that risk or take that chance.
No, who needs to make that call? Steve Kerr. Like that's the one that, as far as teams that might can compete, that's the one that fits the most to me. We've seen Steph run off screens, and Steph can be the guy where if you help off Giannis, if you help off Steph, Giannis can kick it out and he will make the three. So I think that's the sleeper team in all of this because the Warriors definitely want to win another one, at least compete for another one to end Steph's career.
Yeah, I mean, the Warriors got him. That would be impressive, like impressive starting five. I mean, you talk about screen and rolls with Steph and Giannis. That's damn near unstoppable. And then I also don't feel like the Warriors. If you put the Warriors and the currently constructed the Warriors and the Thunder in a 7-game series, that's going to be a competitive series. But if you give either team Giannis, they smacking the other one. So I feel like one of them two teams, in my opinion, should make that jump, bro. Because I'm just not as sold on the Thunder as everybody else is, bro. Like I know y'all feel like that was the start of a dynasty, but I watched them go 7 games with a team that didn't have their best player, bro. I wasn't all that impressed. So I think that, you amass all those picks, you do it for a reason, man. You don't do it just to hold those picks forever, man. Make the move.
Yeah, what you doing?
They gotta make some kind of move. But the last thing I wanted to touch on the trade rumors, the Grizzlies are shopping John Morant officially. The word's been out there for a while now. What are your thoughts on where Ja ends up, and what does this mean for his career? Does he still have a shot? Well, at one point, people were saying he's going to be the face of the league. Has that narrative completely disappeared, or do you guys think he can turn it around with his second act?
Well, the narrative has disappeared 1,000%, but it's not. You know me. I'm about to say, maybe y'all don't know me, but like I'm a big fan of buying things low. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big fan. That's my philosophy. It's like you want to see a thing at a high value, And then, you still remember that value of what that thing is. And then the value might be diminished by perception or whatever the case may be. But you still know what that value is and you know what you could do with that. So it's like, all right, cool, bet. Y'all sleeping. So I think it's a really good opportunity for a team to buy low on Ja Morant. I still think Ja Morant is a really talented guard. Can he stay out of trouble? Can he stay healthy? Yeah, we don't know. But I think part of the reason he's not healthy and he's kind of fucking off is because he doesn't want to be there. So, like, I think that has a big part of it. So I think a smart team is going to go and get him. And if the team I would like to see go get him would be the Toronto Raptors. We're talking about the East. I think the East is in a situation where anyone could win this East. Even Philly. I'm going to throw that out there. Anyone could win this East right now. So Pistons, Knicks, Celtics, Cavs, apparently. Philly, I just said. Raptors are the number 4 seed. I think the Raptors are playing damn good basketball. Now, you add Ja Morant to that roster with Brandon Ingram, who's an all-star, Scotty Barnes, who's a rising star, and a pretty good roster all across the board. I think you got something right there. And all it'd probably take you is Emmanuel quickly and some picks. So, yeah, you make that trade. I like buying low, just like I like how the Wizards bought low on Trae Young.
Okay. T-Man, what are your thoughts on the trade rumors surrounding Ja Morant? And do you think he can turn his career around?
I mean, if he gets with the right org, right city, he has to buy in. I think that's the problem. The coach doesn't agree with the coach's style offense, but he won't go to Toronto. Come on, man. That's Drake's country, bro. Drake run that city. Drake.
To do with anything.
Bro, Drake. If Drake say no, it's not happening. All right. What's more likely for Ja is a city that kind of fits his personality. That's MIA, man. That's Miami. Miami fits Ja. Ja's a Southern guy. I think he's from South Carolina, right? Any from down south somewhere?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think Miami makes sense. They need a star. They tried to give it to Tyler Hero. He was a fraud. You know what I'm saying? So I think Miami, it makes sense. I don't know if he gets along with Pat Riley. You know what I'm saying? Pat Riley is the type of guy that can get back and even further than he is. Right now, he ain't the face of the league. He's the face of the streets, man.
Now, you know what would make me laugh, T, is if you said what you just said about Tyler Hero and he ends up being the main asset that y'all get back for Giannis. That would make my fucking day.
Well, no matter what the trade is, I'm hoping to lose. You know what I'm saying? I'm hoping to draft and find the next Giannis. I'm not trying to trade Giannis and win. That's
if you got Tyler Hero on that roster, you trust me, you're gonna lose.
Hey, listen, man. It remind me of when we had to sit through Michael Ray. Like, great guy, nice shooter, but we need to lose some games. If you know me, you've been a fan of this show. I need teams to be really bad or really good. None of that middle ground stuff.
And I'll throw another team out there. We just talk about the Heat. Heat are a star player away from making it. Like I said, the East is wide open, bro. So, like, with all due respect, if the Heat could pull off a trade for, I'll say Giannis, ideally, they can win the East. Like, seriously. Like, don't act like you haven't seen the Heat do that shit. They actually have a pretty competent team. They just don't got enough firepower right now. Like, Norman Powell playing crazy, Bam Adebayo playing crazy. You put Giannis on that team, pretty good team. Even if you put Ja Morant on the team, I don't think Ja Morant gets you over to the hump to get to the East. But you put Giannis on that team, they could win the East this season.
You put Giannis on any team outside of maybe the Kings, they're a contender.
That's hilarious.
Okay. Anything else on the NBA trade rumors before we move on? All right. We just had the Grammys pass by, man. So before we get off of here, I just wanted to ask y'all what y'all thoughts on the Super Bowl halftime show. Bad Bunny won a bunch of Grammys at the Grammys, but he's also performing at the Super Bowl. So I don't know if y'all are big Bad Bunny's fans. When they announced it, me myself, I started listening a little bit more Bad Bunny. Dude is pretty dope, even though I don't understand half the lyrics. But what's y'all excitement level for the Bad Bunny performance on a scale of 1 to 10?
Man, scale of 1 to 10. I think I'm tuning into the Turning Point USA halftime show.
Yo, my man said he gonna listen to Kid Rock. That's crazy.
I'm joking, bro, but that is crazy work. They came up with their own halftime show headline by Kid Rock. It's crazy work.
That's
But,
crazy.
Yeah, no, I don't. I'm gonna be honest, bro. I don't know. There's not a one Bad Bunny song that I could positively identify. All right, maybe there is like one viral joint. I don't even know that I know it. But yeah, I'm gonna have to brush up on my Bad Bunny before the halftime show, or just go and do some adult activities during the halftime show. Come back when the game starts. I don't know.
Y'all think? What do y'all think about the special guest? Y'all think he'll pull any? You think Drake, Cardi B? Like who y'all think he might pull out?
He got songs with them?
He got a couple songs with Drake. None of them are like overly popular, but they have English lyrics.
I don't think the Super Bowl going Kendrick Drake back to back like that.
Nah, but I could see Cardi being there since she's already probably gonna be in the building.
I've seen rumors that he might have Cardi perform.
I mean, she already gonna be in the building. Like for real, that's easy.
T Boogie man, what's your excitement level for the halftime show?
Not excited at all.
Are you gonna also be turning in the turning point?
Absolutely not. I'm not watching Kid Rock.
Kid Rock. Hey, everybody used to like Kid Rock back in the day.
Bro,
I can't even think of a Kid Rock. What's his best song?
No idea.
That's
him?
only what I know right there. Facts though.
Who sings that cowboy? I'm a cowboy.
That's Kid.
That's him.
That's Kid.
Wait.
Okay, yeah, that's
I
what
think
I
that's
thought.
him.
That's what I thought. Yeah, I won't be tuning into that at all. I will be listening to the lyrics I don't understand.
No, I'm anxious to see the performance. I'm not. I know a couple Bad Bunny songs. You know what I'm saying? I didn't realize I knew them, but like I don't know lyric for lyric, but I've heard them before. I'm more excited to see the performance because this guy's a mega global star. So I'm more curious to see what he does with that halftime stage. And as far as who he's bringing, probably Cardi. Like I think Cardi dropped the album. I think it makes sense. Maybe J Balvin.
Yeah, I'm about to say. Yeah, that actually makes more sense.
That y'all mad at Hispanics. I doubled down with J Balvin. Now you double mad. I think that makes a lot of sense in this moment. So yeah, I'm more anxious to see the lights and the stage and the dancing and all that stuff.
Okay. So I gotta ask you then, T. What would you say has been the best Super Bowl performance recently? Like which one stands out in recent years?
Rihanna's stands out.
Yeah. Rihanna went crazy. Even if you're not a Rihanna fan, I think you enjoyed that performance.
I mean, to me, it was Kendrick's, but I mean, y'all didn't like it, so.
I did not like it. I thought it was a good performance.
Yeah, I think I like Kendrick. I think that was the best one we've had in a long time.
All right, Bryce, what was your favorite one in recent years?
I thought the Kendrick joint was fire too, man. I'm not gonna lie. It's probably the only one that really is standing out to me. Guess
the Dre Snoop and them.
That joint was cool. The whole West Coast reunion, right? Yeah, that joint was tough.
Who was the headliner?
50 Cent randomly in it.
It was
Dre, right?
Dr. Dre?
Yeah, Dr. Dre was the headliner.
Yeah, that one was tough.
All right. Well, we'll be sure to be here next week, giving reactions to all of it, from the game to the halftime performance, to maybe even some commercials. We'll see how it goes.
Hold on, matter of fact, now it is going to be Cardi B because after watching the Grammys, they still on a stick it to Drake run, and now that Nicki Minaj going crazy, they're going to stick it to Nicki. She been hating on Rock Nation, so they gotta throw her nemesis in there. So it's Cardi for sure. I'd bet all my money on it.
That tracks, actually.
Nah, yeah, I think that's why the rumors started popping up, because I've seen a couple things on my timeline about Cardi being a surprise performance. So that makes a lot of sense. Anything else anybody want to get off before we get out of here?
Nope. Just if Cardi there, I'm 10 times more excited to see Cardi B.
Honestly, that would make it a lot better. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, Cardi is currently ranked 1 of 1 in the group chat. So I'm gonna just leave it at that. Y'all know how we end each and every show.